trust what you say and that's all okay. But everything starts to feel like a con, and I'm the pawn. Am I right or wrong?
Nock On TV is all about the life of us archers, and most of my life is spent right here in my home state of Wisconsin. On this show, I'm excited to show you some of my own homegrown bucks. My family is dedicated to the hunting lifestyle, and many hours are spent planting food plots, hauling water, supplementing our antler growth with bone ammonium, and patterning our local deer. For the past 3 years, I've taken 3 great bucks off my small 11 acres of property. Although I don't live in an area known for trophy bucks, I've been successful by following the basic recipe of age, nutrition, and minimal pressure. This week, I invite you to watch me with 2 bucks that I've taken on the 3rd day of the past 2 seasons, the Wide 9 and Big Boy. I'm gonna get in here, I'm filming myself. So it's nice and early, it's a hot day, but these deer have been like clockwork. The does have been here all the time, and the buck's been here. This will be the 3rd night. Last night I kind of got messed up by a motorcycle, and tonight hopefully is my night to put this new Hoyt to work. Right there's my pine tree behind me. Right there you can see my camera stand, and check it out. It's a good sign when you got the Easton Tracer Nock a blinking, a bling blinging. Can't wait to see my buck. Oh yeah. If it's got the bling, you know it's stung. Here we go. So freaking pumped. That's my house in the background. Been watching these bucks every day, growing them, being quiet, and here we go. Perfect situation. Yeah, Wisconsin 9-pointer, woo! Oh, talk about a perfect shot too. All right, hold on folks, I'm gonna try to pick this guy up right here in my yard. Look at the size of this buck. Homegrown, right here in my own yard. Just an unbelievable 9-point. You know, I was fortunate to take a huge buck in Alberta, and I've watched this buck literally the whole season. Got so many photos of him. Just a great buck. He's like 17 inside, 9-point. He's already actually chipped one of his tines, but I've got great velvet footage of this thing, and I've just really wanted to take one here. Right where he lays is where I killed that huge 9-pointer. Let's see, it would have been 2 years ago now. So here we are, 2 years later, another 9-point. It ain't the granddaddy, but I'll take it any day of the week. Be sure to visit knockonarchery.com to see our entire line of Nock-On lifestyle clothing, as well as some awesome Nock-On gear and accessories that I personally take to the field myself. Enter promo code SHOWFAN and I'll include a free signed photo. Also remember that all US orders over 100 get free shipping. knockonarchery.com. All right, Wisconsin, 4th night. Hopefully tonight's the night. Today is supposed to be really hot, and I'm just going to show you quick before I get in the stand what the setup is. Pretty much got the lone wolf. I'm sure you've seen it before, and then right over here I've got my bone pneumonium where I've been putting it out. You're allowed to bait here in Wisconsin, and I'm a firm believer in it. So I like to just get some of that out, get some of that in the air, and then I'll show you what else. So I've got pretty much an ideal situation right here. Got my stand right here. Usually the wind is always in my face. I've planted a food plot right here, but it's so dry this year. I mean, it's totally stunted. It's no good. I had planted clover and corn in here, but definitely not working. So right over here is my old faithful water hole. Right here, my water hole. I'm sure you've seen me put these water tanks in before. I just filled this thing up the other day, and they've drank at least half of it, so I wasn't able to hunt last night. And go ahead and put some bone right there. But I mean, yeah, I guess you never know. It's hot, so we'll give it a try. It's only 4 days in the season, but the problem is I've seen 2 good 8-pointers, to be honest with you, but they're not the ones I want. They're both younger deer. The one I want I've nicknamed Big Boy, and that's the one we're after. So let's get in the stand and see what happens. Now I'll tell you what, I've spoken and I've written about this many times, and I continue to think that this is one of the most effective preseason tools that you can have for hunting whitetails, elk, mule deer, antelope. I mean, you name it. Everything needs water, and depending on your area, if you don't have a water source that's close to you, something as simple is a small water tank or even a small kiddie pool that you can buy from a local Walmart is a super smart investment for bringing animals to you during that early season. I mean, sometimes it's really hard to compete with all the neighbors when it comes to food sources, different crops that are out there. When the acorns are on the ground, sometimes that makes pre-season or early season really tough for finding and locating, animals. But everything has to drink water. Here in my area, I don't have a lot of water, and I'll tell you what, putting in a water source is critically important to me being successful during the early season. I mean, we just saw an amazing whitetail get shot right here. I only own 10 acres of land, and if it weren't for this water tank, I wouldn't have finally got an arrow in old Big Boy. But one other thing to consider, if you put in a water source, make sure that you always have a stick that's running into the water source and off to a tree limb, because this little stick right here going into the tank is the one thing that's going to prevent your water from getting soiled. Because if a small critter or bird hops in there and can't get out, then the water that you're spending a lot of time hauling up here is going to end up souring. So put in an escape route for the little critters, bring in fresh water. I do it on my rhino. Sometimes I've had to pack it in buckets, but I can promise you, you put water on a place that doesn't have much of it, and you can definitely spend a lot of time there during the early season.
If you're looking to learn more about archery, be sure to tune in to Nock On Podcasts. Nock On Podcasts is a weekly talk show where I get in-depth with shooting techniques, equipment setup, and also give you a no BS review on some of the latest industry gear. Nock On Podcasts are great for listening on a road trip or that dreaded ride into work. Expand your archery knowledge with the highest level of world-class information on the airwaves. Nock On Podcasts. I got my bug. Last light. Last light. I wanted that buck so bad. And to tell you the truth, it's very overcast today and my camera cannot pick up that buck as light as I can see him. Right there. Brand new carbon matrix Hoyt. Unbelievable. That's what I got. Toasty time. Some, that's African panini right there. It's an African panini. As if we need any more food. We've got like half a dang.
We got beef, we've got
Beef, pork, vegetables, lamb.
cheese, dairy, onions,
We got the 4 poop groups.
we've got starch.
This buck, I have wanted him so bad, and I am so jacked. So let's go take a look. It looked like a perfect shot. Tell you what, when acorns start hitting the ground like that right there, these big acorns hitting the ground, it is hard to get deer to be patternable when these acorns start hitting, but I'm not sure where the blood goes, but I see the buck. Here's the blood trail right here again, right here. Are you kidding me? There he is. There's my big boy. 3 years and running. Oh, yes. Yes. Look at the perfect shot. Went maybe 40 yards. Oh my gosh, he's exactly what I thought. Holy smokes. Yeah, baby. Right there. Brand new Hoyt carbon matrix. 4.5-year-old buck right here in Wisconsin. I own 10 acres of land. 10 acres of land, and I'll tell you what, this is a 4-year-old deer. Last year he had a broke G2, and I didn't take him. I shot my 9-point perfect, and it was to the day. Last year I shot my 9-point, and this buck right here literally came in at last light. I call this guy Big Boy because he's always had the small crabs, but he just keeps getting his mass, keeps getting his big old tines. And I'll tell you what, right there, get serious, get Hoyt. I sent one of those Easton Tracer knocks right into the pump station, and I'll tell you what, 30 yards later, and old Dudley is pump right now. Textbook. Early season, hot weather, and they came to my water tank. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Big boy is done. All right, it's late season. Well, it's actually after season.
and it's freezing cold, but it's a really good time to still be out here. So let's take a little rhino ride. I'm gonna tell you something that's pretty cool to do for this after season stuff. All right. Okay. It's late season. Actually, turn around. There you go. There's some deer here already. All right, it's extra late season, and this is the perfect time for you to take inventory of what deer you have left in your hunting areas. I know that during this time of year, a lot of the bucks in our area, they're really run down from the rut. And if you have heavy snow like we have right now, this is the time where your deer really need your help to give them some nutrition. So it is legal. Check your regulations. Here, I put down a bait pile. You know, I try to keep the deer fed. I put a trail camera on there so I can see what bucks I have left and what I can look forward to next year. And you know, I can tell you, if you do that, you're gonna definitely reap the rewards for it the following season. So I've got my cards pulled now. Gonna go get back on the Yamaha and get out of here.